The teacher for the community of the Dead Sea Scrolls had to be no one else but Jesus. That there are scrolls within their catch that indicate that Jesus was the teacher of righteousness. This isn't too far out, actually, in the fact that when Jesus went to be baptized, John first didn't want to baptize him. And then Jesus said, "Thus it is to fulfill all righteousness." And some of John's followers were there, and they called him teacher and asked, "Where do you live?" And Enoch had said the elect will live with the elect, meaning the elect one was to go and live with the elect. And so it's not far out to believe that Jesus at that time, at the age of about 30 years old, went to live at the Qumran community for a while, which was by the Dead Sea. A number of scrolls are written by the teacher, and that teacher very much sounds like Jesus. But now there are scrolls that have been found indicating it would have to be Jesus and nobody else. And a number of Christians are picking up the banner stating this as we're leading now into this great revelation. At the same time, we have connections taking place of Jesus to these scrolls that are at the Dead Sea Scrolls, but also to the community, which is the Dead Sea Scroll community. And Christians are now coming out and saying that this redemption and resurrection scroll spoke of it as well. It said, "By this you will know the Lord," and it went on and it started speaking of the things that he will do. It said that he would heal the sick, he would heal the blind, he would raise the dead, and then it went on and said, "just as he said." And people are noting, well, that Jesus did that. It also said he will do things that have never been done before in Israel, and that's done within the texts in Luke as well. As it turned out, when John the Baptist sent a messenger to Jesus, he had just healed the sick, raised the dead, healed the blind, and somebody came to him and said, "Are you him, or should we look for another?" The words of John, "Are you this one? Are you the Messiah? Or should we look for another?" And Jesus said that the dead had been raised, the lame had been healed, and he went on quoting these same very quotes that are within the redemption of resurrection, speaking of the one who is the Lord and speaking of the one who was their teacher, who was supposed to be the Messiah. We've been discussing the Dead Sea Scrolls and the appointed time, that there is an appointed time for a war, and that the Dead Sea Scrolls seem to be stating that they are going to give that information. We have noted that in Isaiah 29, it's speaking woe unto Ariel, and it's telling them to add up the years. So apparently that time has something to do with the years. So we're now trying to go into the Dead Sea Scrolls to find out where they're going to tell us about it, because as we discussed in Isaiah 29, when it says you will hear a voice telling you to go to the right or go to the left, it's letting you know that that voice will come from the true priests of Israel, the Zadokite priests. And it also is letting you know that that will come from the Dead Sea Scrolls, because it states in it, for it says, "The bread from your soil will be rich." And the bread from the soil is the Dead Sea Scrolls, the sealed up information from the time of the end, and they are supposed to tell us something about the appointed time, which we take it has to do with the Jubilee.